Four Fils, Zay King, yeah. Yeah, I got kicks for the low, and I got kicks for the high, yeah. I got kicks for the chicks, and I got kicks for the guys.
Yo, what's up everybody? King of Kicks here. Today, we're gonna take an in-depth look on how to resell sneakers. So, what we're gonna start talking about first, and a little disclaimer that I wanna make, is that I've been selling sneakers for 4 years now. I have anytime 200 to 300 pairs of inventory. I have a decent following on social media, and I've been traveling to events to sell sneakers. So I feel like it's about time that I share some of the knowledge that I've learned to help people like you guys that ask me questions every day on how I resell sneakers. The first thing I'd like to start with is when you start selling sneakers, please make sure that you're not going out of your way to create an LLC or start forming a tax business license or anything like that. It's not something you want to focus on currently, okay? Now, what we're going to start with today is looking here and focusing on two different types of paths you can take. Now, these two different paths depend on the amount of capital or money that you have to work with. This over here on the left is going to be our $200 range and under, and over here on the right is going to be our $300 plus capital amount. And this just depends on how you go about your buying strategy as well, but you can turn this into this side very quickly, and so that's what I'm going to teach you how to do first, and then I'm going to teach you how to turn this side into even more like where I'm at today, okay? So let's start over here. The first thing you want to do when you're creating any type of business, which is what you want to look at this as a business, not a side hustle or a hobby. If this is something you want to be successful with from the gate, look at it as a business. Create a Facebook and Instagram that is specifically for your business. Now, my sneaker name was King of Kicks. My name is Isaiah King, so it works out pretty well. I started an Instagram and I started a Facebook. I was in 9th grade when I did this. People looked at me, they called me stupid, they called me funny, they called me lame because King of Kicks, you're 9th grade, you have one pair of shoes, and I'm pretty sure it was a beat up pair of KDs. So, but you know what? Shit's corny till it's not. So if you're gonna do it right. Come up with a good name and come up with a brand. Now, you wanna focus on making yourself present locally in the sneaker market on Facebook. Check and see if there's any buy, sell, trade groups that are sneaker based in your area. Okay, so that's what we wanna do first, so that we have somewhere that we can bring our audience to, make sure they're staying locked on. What I did, I created an Instagram, called it King of Kicks, got a logo made, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and I made my Facebook as well. So number one, the biggest question that you have is, and we know how much money we have in the $200 and under range. The first question we have is, where are we gonna buy our shoes from? So that's what I call sourcing inventory, okay? So inventory, where do we get it? How do we get it? What do we do about that? So if we're working on $200 and under range, there's a few methods of getting inventory. One, the rock bottom Goodwill. I have found foam posits at Goodwill. I have found Jordans at Goodwill, and I have found LeBrons at Goodwill. They're going to be worn. You're going to have to clean them, and you're not going to be able to sell them for a lot. But typically, you can make anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks, profit when you're buying these shoes from Goodwill. Your second option is Plato's Closet and any other kind of consignment shops like that. These are where you can find some really good deals, but problem is they're hit or miss, and you've always got to be there constantly checking up on it. So Plato's Closet, here's an example. You're going to find a pair of Jordans there for $45 to $60, $80 on the high range, and you're going to clean them up and flip them for $100 to $140 depending on the shoe you find, averaging you about a $20 to $50 to $60 profit there. And if you're only spending 40 bucks, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, you're almost doubling your money every time at Plato's Closet. I found Jordan 2s at Plato's for 50 bucks. I found Jordan 10s at Plato's for 50 bucks, and I've sold them for 100 to 120, making me just as much money back or more that I spent on the shoe. Your third and your highest success rate for buying and sourcing inventory with low capital is Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace connects you and other people, not businesses, that are trying to sell and buy anything, but shoes are in our case. The potential benefit of this, besides going to a store that sells shoes or on eBay or anything, is these people are just people. They're looking to get rid of their old Jordans, their old Nikes, their old Yeezys, and they're just looking at them as old shoes, not as potential profit or money like we are. So you're gonna see, and the best thing about this is you can always negotiate. Go on your local Facebook Marketplace, look for retro Jordans or foam posits. Let's use this as an example. let's say I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found this shoe for $130. It's more than I'm looking to spend because I'm going to sell it for $150 to $170. So what do? I text the guy, message him, hey, would you take $90? Probably not going to accept this offer, but it gives us a little wiggle room to go up. Now let's say they decline the offer, but we come back with $110. They say yes, you exchange the meetup, and you have now got these foam posits for $110. What's your first step? Clean the entire shoe. Make sure there's no dirt on it, and tighten the laces up and DS lace knot them, okay? That's like what that looks like there. I can do a separate video on that if you're interested. I also will be making a lot of videos on how to clean your sneakers, so stay tuned for that as well. But you want to do that. Then you want to figure out what you're going to sell the shoe for. Go on StockX, see what a brand new pair is going for, and base your number off of that. So if this shoe brand new is going for $300 and we have a used pair with no box, we're going to be wanting to sell ours for $180. This keeps it competitive priced, and it gives you room to calm down if someone wants to offer, considering we only paid $110. Now, let's say you get an offer for $160. You work with them, you get them to buy it for $170. You have now made a $60 profit off of a $110 investment. Now, I'm sure you might be thinking, why are you speaking about only used sneakers? Well, it's a good question, and it's because when we're working in this low capital range here, when you go out and buy a new release that's not guaranteed to sell, for example, a Lucky Green 13 or an Indigo 12, you're looking at a potential $20 to $40 profit off of a $220 investment. It's just not the same. It doesn't move as fast, and you're making a lot more profit for your money off of this, because now we have, instead of $110, $170. So we can go buy another $100 shoe and a $70 shoe and double our money again. And that's what we're going to be working on here. So Facebook Marketplace is a great way to source your inventory. And like I said before, we're going to be posting on IG, Facebook, and Facebook Marketplace /groups. Okay? So now that you've got that out of the way, the steps that you want to take are continuing this model and this process and growing your local reputation on Facebook and with the sneakerheads in the local area. You want to be cool with them, you want to work in with them, and you want to do stuff like that. Now, low income, where else can we source inventory and where else can we sell inventory? That's a good question. Flea markets. Okay, now there's one thing about flea markets that sucks, and there is a ton of fake sneakers at them. Why? Because it's normally low income families shopping at flea markets, but not always. What I found is when I take my cheaper shoes, my shoes that I don't sell for as much or don't sell as well, and I take them to those events and they're low cost, people will buy. It's a great way to get out there, show your face, sell some shoes, make some money, and do it for a low cost. My local flea market that is really good, it's really big, it only costs $15 to have a table for an entire day. If you compare that to going to a sneaker event where you have to travel to, that's 15 compared to 150. So I would always recommend flea markets for buying and selling pairs. Just make sure that if you're buying, you're being very careful about buying fake sneakers. Okay. So we've done this inventory, Facebook, Instagram, and we're buying and selling at flea markets. Now, what do? Well, the process is simple at that point. You completely just repeat it, okay, until we get here. $300 plus. Now, this is where you can do a lot more with your money, and your money begins to grow a lot quicker than over here. Why is that? When you're buying better pairs, cleaner pairs with more money, they're likely to sell faster because they're more sought after and people want them more. So where are we sourcing our inventory from here? And what's the difference between the inventory on this side and on this side? Well, over here, we're not going to be using as much Goodwill, Plato's Closet, and flea markets for buying pairs. We're going to be on sneaker groups that are international. So Scoop 208 Sneaker Fam, MSX Sneaker Exchange, Band LA, Sneaker Broker, those kind of Facebook groups online. We're still going to be on Marketplace, okay, because you can't beat a $70 profit on a $110 investment. But we're going to be focusing on those groups more. And what is different now? Well, you have more money. So bulk deals, okay? B-U-L-K, bulk deals. What do bulk deals do and why are they important? Well, I'm going to tell you, and they're crucial to the success of my business and my company so far. Bulk deals give you an opportunity to get your pairs at a much significantly cheaper rate. For example, if I'm buying one pair off of someone for $100, but they have 10 of them, it's likely that if I offer them $70 a pair or $700 cash, I can get the price down to $70 a pair, which it makes me an extra $30 profit per pair on 10 pairs. That's an extra $300 out the gate, and we were going to sell that shoe for that we paid $100 for $130. So now you're looking at $600 profit versus, you know what I mean, like a $60 profit per pair instead of a $30 profit per pair when you're buying in bulk. Example of this, I locally had been posting on Facebook. This was about 6 months ago. Posting, looking for big deals, looking for bulk deals. And what do you know? Posting on Facebook works. Somebody sees it. She hits me up. Her ex-boyfriend's sneaker collection needs to be sold. I bought the entire collection for $100 per pair. The first pair that I sold out of that lot, I sold for $700. A lot of them went for the $200 to $400 range, and a few of them went for about $120 to $150. It was a 30 pair buyout. I made thousands of dollars off that one deal, and it's because I bought them in bulk. You want bulk deals. Another example of a bulk deal that I did recently at a sneaker event. Kid was selling Yeezys for $250 on average per pair. I bought 5 or 6 pairs of them for $190, and now I'm selling them for $260 a pair. That's $70 profit a pair, and you know they're going to move because they're Yeezys and they're good prices under market value. So bulk deals is what we want to do. Now that we have more capital, a little bit more money to throw around, we want to make sure that we are branding ourselves. We want to get a decent logo made, and on top of that, we want to get business cards made. So logo and biz cards, okay? Business cards are great. You're going to be handing them out. They're going to have your Instagram, your Facebook, your phone number, and your email on them, and it's going to be great for networking at flea markets, events, and stuff like that, as well as a logo for your Instagram and your Facebook, just to make you look that much more legit. So what you're going to want to start doing now that you've made a little more money, you have a little bit more inventory, is shipping your pairs. Now, when you're shipping pairs and selling online selling, there's things you want to look out for and be careful about. So what do you have to start doing now? You have to figure out how to ship shoes. You want to make sure you're using a company like Pirate Ship or Shippo to ship out shoes, because if you go straight to the post office, you're going to be spending $30 a package when you could be spending $8. So Pirate Ship and Shippo is very important. It's important to make sure that you're being safe when buying and selling online. Only use PayPal invoice if you're buying to protect yourself from getting scammed or sent fakes. And make sure that when you're selling shoes, you don't sell to anyone sketchy. You want to avoid getting chargebacks or anything like that. It's never happened to me though, so I recommend you're probably fine. When you're selling, you can pretty much use any payment plan you want. Cash App, Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle are the top 5 preferred payment methods and most used that I have seen. So those are things that you want to take into consideration in using when you're selling. But when you're buying, stick to probably PayPal invoice unless the seller agrees to let you pay once the shoes arrive. So like I said before, online selling, we're going to focus on using labels for shipping through Pirate Ship to save money on shipping costs, and as well as you want to make sure that you're using safe payments, okay? We're continuing to grow our reputation on this side over here through Facebook and Facebook platforms. Other platforms you can be selling your pairs on that I've heard you move very well that I haven't done yet actually, because I focus on my brand and stuff more, but I am about to start getting into it, is eBay and Goat. So you're going to be, first off, starting out on eBay and Goat. They're going to hold your funds. The same thing goes for PayPal. Until you ship out the shoes and potentially a little bit longer. But the upside to that is once you've shown that you are a legit seller on those platforms, things go a lot smoother for you, your payments get a lot quicker, and it gives you an audience. The difference is when you're not selling on eBay is that when you're selling on Instagram, Facebook, you have to find your own audience. Go and eBay connect you to other buyers that are looking for your pairs that you have. So it makes it a great way to get customers. But like I said before, you're going to be waiting a little bit at first, which isn't a big deal. And you're also going to be getting a cut taken out of it to them because they need their cut. They're connecting you to the audience. So all those are important things to do when you're selling Bulk deals is what I would focus on, creating a reputation for yourself and constantly buying shoes for good deals, cleaning them and selling them for a profit until you get into the thousands. And that's when you want to work up into your more high-end shoes like Yeezys, like sought-after Jordans such as Raging Bull packs. I'm trying to see if I have any around. Right here, yeah, actually. So you can start getting into stuff like this once you have a little bit more capital and you have a little bit more to play with. The benefit, by the way, of growing your brand, like I've been talking about this whole time, is that when people know who you are, they're more inclined to help you. When people know you're legit, they're more likely to sell to you. Okay, let me put it this way. If you got a pair of shoes, who are you more likely to hook up on them? Your buddy down the street or some dude that just hit you up on Facebook? I'm willing to guess it's your buddy down the street because you have a connection with him, you know who he is, and you know he's good people. Create a brand, create recognition on social media, and you will get that return. And once you start getting up here into the higher range, in the 300s and the thousands, that's when you want to start going to big sneaker events, selling on your table there, and buying. Buying at these events is crazy. I go to these events and I buy thousands of dollars. I don't even take enough money with me. If I took 10 grand, I could spend it all and get good deals and come back here and sell them online. So events are eventually something you want to work up to, but when you're here, it's not. And when you're here, it's not necessarily. Once you're up in the thousands range, that's when you want to start doing that. So, hey guys, I hope this video helped you out a lot. If you have any questions, comment them below or DM me on Instagram at kingofkicks_shop. I'll do whatever I can to help you. And if there's anything that you want me to go more in depth to here on specifically, such as flea markets, Facebook marketing, sourcing inventory, bulk deals, online selling, or anything in that universe of information, let me know and I will make a separate video on them and do the best I can to answer your questions. So thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.